Hello everyone. This concerns the recent ANI podcast in which I took part, where we discussed the MoU that was signed between Uber and the Indian Air Force. The part of the podcast that discusses this has since gone viral, and few officers and gentlemen belonging to the Indian Armed Forces have taken umbrage to what was discussed. In light of this, I would like to issue a few clarifications, stressing that I here speak strictly for myself and not for my friends who were there on the podcast, because anything else would be patronizing to them, as they are more than capable of answering on their own on this matter if they wish, except to say that all of us who were on the podcast have nothing but utmost respect for the Indian Armed Forces. Number one, it has been claimed that abusive language was used by me while discussing this matter. With respect, nothing could be further from the truth. Please watch the podcast again, I implore you. The only word, and I stress, the only word I used was bizarre. This was because I genuinely found this association of a cab operator with an app with the Indian Armed Forces as bizarre. However, if a few members of the Armed Forces found even this word as abusive, I unhesitatingly and unreservedly apologize to them. As I said, there is only one rule that I follow when it comes to our Indian Armed Forces, that they are always supreme and that they are always to be respected. Always. No questions asked, period. Non-negotiable. They picked up arms to defend me. I am alive because of them, and I can never and I will never forget this. Therefore, I apologize to anyone from the Indian Armed Forces if you found my use of the word bizarre, slanderous and abusive. Number two, I genuinely believe that this MoU does more harm than good. It compromises severely the location, duration, posting, place of stay, residence, place of work of our officers and their families, primes them up for potential blackmail and kidnapping and worse. Of course, I speak as a layman, but then, wouldn't you agree that it is important for the government and the armed forces to satisfy the concerns of the layman regarding our own forces and their security and well-being? This has not been done, I'm afraid. So not only do I feel that this MoU will compromise the safety and security of our armed forces personnel and their families, but because India does not have stringently administered privacy laws, this is a recipe for disaster. Not to mention live geotagging of men and women of the armed forces. Not to mention that Uber has multiple data breaches in the past through hacking, most notably in 2016 when more than 50 million users were compromised. Also, if nothing was wrong, why was that tweet announcing the MoU deleted by the Armed Forces handle? I stress, I would welcome anyone from the Armed Forces who could illuminate me on the contrary to what my concern is. Finally, with utmost respect for all those officers who have taken umbrage, sir, may I speak to you directly here. All of you are my heroes, and I have utmost respect for you, and I apologize again if you found my use of the word bizarre as unbecoming. But I ask you, again, very humbly, did any of you publicly raise an alarm when this MoU was signed, either just now or a year ago with the Indian Navy? Or in case you did not raise an alarm and were in agreement with this MoU being signed, did you allay the fears of laymen like me? If not, then most humbly again, why not? Thank you once again for being there for us and protecting and defending us. Jai Hind.